out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. Peace and love and blessings to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound. Much love. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the love and support. We back at it again. I think personally this is going to be one of the most intriguing stories that I tell or I have told. I think it's a amazing story. You just got to follow me with it. I'm going to try to put it together, paint this picture for y'all, but I think it's just an amazing story, man. I can remember it blew my mind, so maybe it had the same effect on y'all. It still blows my mind, so hopefully it had the same effect on y'all. This story is about twins in the penitentiary. Twins in the penitentiary. And I'm going to start this story off with officers that was twins first because it pops up in my mind. So I want to talk about the officers that I knew that was twins. It was only one set that I could remember, but they was very, very memorable. They was in up in Augusta, man. They was Boyes. Their name was Boyes. It was two brothers, and they both were lieutenants. So they both had rank, and these some big dudes, man. Some big old white dudes, man. 6'4", 6'5", and they was something else too, man. They was something else. They looked exactly alike. I mean, exactly alike. But you had them always try to play good cop, bad cop. When you get mad at one of them, when you see them, or they say something to you, and you done had altercations or words with one of them, and then when you see them again, they say something to you, you be like, you know, give them the cold shoulder or whatnot. They would always, man, what did I do to you? You know what you did. Man, that wasn't me. That was my brother. You know, so you never really knew which one was which because they rotated shifts. And like I say, they looked at exactly alike, had the same name tag, everything to boot. But truth be told, both of them was some pure garbage. You know what I'm saying? They both was garbage. There's no other way around it. They both just wanted to cross you up. They both always was pro administration. They ain't really got nothing to listen to that you got to say. They always gonna take the administration side. You know, they always gonna take their officer side, whether you in the right or whether you in the wrong. That's how they was coming. And when it came down to being grimy, oh man, they was grimy, man. They get them cuffs on you and they'd be in charge, especially if it was their ship on charge. Oh, they get them cuffs on you, man. They do you dirty. They get you back there, man. They beat you, man. They put the little nightstick on you. They mace you. They do all of that. You know, they call them shots, man. They go, especially if you had any type of altercation with an officer and they was locking you up. Oh, you had problems messing with them. When you got back there, it wasn't no telling. It wasn't no telling what was gonna happen to you messing with them Boyes brothers. You know, and like I say, they try to hit you with that little facade that they cool. They are, hey, let me just talk to you. Let's talk about the situation. But all the time they just wanted to isolate you and get you by yourself. Come on, step out in the hallway. And when you get out there, they got the goon squad waiting for you, man, and they gonna rough you up, pin you all up. All that nice talking is going out the window. Then they talking like they gangsters. You know, no, you need to listen. I told you. Now you're going to jail. Woo, woo, woo. That's how they coming. You know, slicksters, man, real slicksters. So I had few encounters with them, but the one encounter that I had with them that was most memorable, that I just made me, you know, dislike both of them, because you never knew which one was which. But I disliked both of them from that point on, which wasn't long because I ended up getting off of the institution messing with them somewhat. They had a hand in it. But I can remember being in segregation, and I was in segregation for fighting. And while I was back there, like a lot of times when you back there and say, they carry you, man, even more so than regular when you out here. They carry you. So I'm back there and I need sheets, I need pillowcase, I need all of this stuff, you know, toiletries, toilet paper, whatnot, and they ain't bringing me nothing. They ain't bringing me nothing. They just taking their time. I done went a whole 24 hours sleeping on this hard plastic with no toiletries and no sheet or blanket or anything because no one has took the initiative to go get me and bring me what I need back here and say. So I done been back here for over 24 hours and I still ain't got this stuff. So I'm highly upset. So I'm screaming and banging and kicking the door and, you know, protesting. I'm protesting. I'm ready to demonstrate because they ain't listening to me. So all they telling me is to hold on, we got you, we gonna get you to stop making all that noise. Well, I ain't trying to hear that. So I used to take my brush and bang on the door, clang, 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 you know. We protesting, man. I bang on the door till I get some attention, you know. So it's just echoing all over the pod, dang, dang, dang. So it's super loud, so they got to come see what's going on. So when they come, I'm screaming and I'm screaming and yelling there, man. Look, where my stuff at? I supposed to have this. I supposed to have that. I ain't got nothing to sleep all night. They like, oh, cause you okay. But they always divert the attention to what you doing opposed to what they supposed to be doing. Okay, that's cool. But you ain't got no business banging on this door like that. You, man, get out of here. Go get somebody else. Get on away from me. So who you talking? I cuss him out. He cussing back. So now they done turned it into I'm being unruly. I'm the problem. When all the time, all I want is what I'm supposed to have. Right? That's all I want. What I'm supposed to have, I'm not asking for no more than what I'm supposed to have. But so the dude tell me that if I bang on the door again, they gonna do this, do that. I cuss him out verbally, without a question. I cuss him out. But he goes and lies. He takes it to the extreme. He don't even tell the truth. He tell a lie. Not only do he say I cuss him, he said I threatened him. So now he feel threatened. And that's all the officer has to do is tell them that they feel threatened. And now, you know, you subject to discipline. So now they want to come in here and try to jump on me or chain me down to the bed and all of this foolishness, you know, dehumanize me because this chump on the line say that I threatened him. So that even, you know, makes me even more mad because you lying on me and I'm already being treated unfair. And then you gonna lie on top of me being treated unfair. So now I'm ready for war. I'm like, whatever, you know, whatever y'all want to do, whatever, you know. I ain't trying to hurt nothing there. The negotiations is over. I don't even want to talk no more because y'all carrying me. So I'm gonna let you know that I'm not to be carried. So I'm up in there, I'm cutting up, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm cutting up. I'm banging on the door. Stopping up my toilets, getting ready to flood. I'm ready to go all out to protest. So he come around there and tell me that they gonna chain me down. I said, you ain't gonna do nothing to me, you know. So they said, okay, well, we gonna see. I'm like, yeah, all right. I said, well, you come. I want to make sure you come. You come chain me down, tough guy. I want you to do it. You know, don't worry, you gonna get chained down. You gonna get it. Don't worry. I said, all right. So I wait, it's about an hour and something. I still keep protesting. I'm doing what I'm doing. So I'm in the corner cell on the top. Right at my cell is the back security door. So they can literally open the door and be right at my cell. I'm talking about this less than an arm length away. So that's the cell that I'm in. So I heard the door open. I run to the door. I'm looking out my little window and here come Boyce, right? And he come, Lieutenant Boyce. So he come to the door. He like, what's the problem? You know, I said, man, you know what the problem is, man. I said, I don't have the stuff that I supposed to have. I've been in here for over 24 hours, man. Why am I sleeping like this? Why don't I have things I put? Well, hold on, we can get you all that. But they say you banging on the door. Look, you trying to flood. And they say you done threaten the officer, man. I said, man, I don't care what he say. I'm telling you, he mad because of what I'm doing to protest about what I don't supposed to have. I said, I didn't threaten him in no shape or fashion. He said things to me, I said things to him, but I ain't threatening him. I said, because I ain't got to threaten. If I'm going to do something to him, I'm going to do it. If I'm not, I'm not. What's the point in threatening? Well, I'm just telling you what he said, so, you know, I got to do something about it. I said, man, got to do what? You know, so he was like, well, you know, they want to chain you down because they... I said, man, I ain't getting chained down. I ain't getting chained down because I ain't did nothing. You neglecting to even talk about what I don't have, what y'all haven't done. Y'all talking about what I did and what y'all haven't done. So we going through that, and this chump, he said, well, I understand, hold on. He said, I can't even hardly hear you. Come to the side of the door. Because when you talking and they don't open the slot, the tray slot, which is down by your abdomen, your stomach, when they don't open that, you still talking through a steel door. So on the side of the door, where the door is open, there's a little crack like that. Normally some people get to the side and talk through the side so you can hear better or whatever. So he said, come to the side door, I can't hardly hear you. Man, do you know I go to the side? I go to the side door and put my face up there and repeat what I just said. And this chump tried to mace me through the crack of the door. He tried to mace me through the crack of the door, and he talking so calm and nice, and then he tried to mace me. That's the slickness. So it went across my mouth opposed to my eyes, so I act like it got in my eyes. So I'm like, oh, you try to mace me. And I turn around and I bend over. Clank, clank, clank. They cracked the door, the back door open, and here come the goon squad. They come bum rushing in there, 7, 8 deep, with their shields on, they nightsticks, they combat boots, and everything. And they come running in there. So I turn around real fast, and I just start swinging. Boom, 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 and they bum rush me, take me down to the ground, you know, try to cuff me all up, twisting my legs, hit me, holding my head open, spraying mace on me, all this, you know, nonsense that they be doing to people on a regular, you know. So I'm like, I'm super mad, man, but you know, I'm outgunned. I can't do nothing, you know. So they got me, they twist me up, you know, they strip me down, put me on the bed, start chaining me up. I'm super mad. I'm telling them what they gonna get the business. First chance I get, they talking stuff because they masked up. I can't even see their face. I'm telling them I can almost pinpoint who you is. I think you such and such. I think you said, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I said, when I catch you, you know what it is. Oh, you got more threats? You threatening? That's another charge? Okay, threaten me. Threaten me. Give me a charge. You give me a charge, you put your name on it. Who are you? Who am I threatening? You ain't even identifying yourself. So, boys, he's sitting up there, he just watching the whole situation, and he get to talking, running his mouth, talking tough now because of I'm chained up. You know what I'm saying? I'm already, you know, subdued. So it's easy to talk tough. So I'm super mad, but he my number one target. He know it. I'm telling him, I said, okay, so you try to mace me, you gonna act like you trying to talk to me, you try to make, oh, I don't want to hurt you know what you did. And I said, okay, all right. I said, I just want you to remember that. Remember that. He said, oh, you threatening me? Are you threatening me? I said, man, I don't make no threats. I said, just remember what you did. Remember what you did. I tried to talk to you like a man, and you tried to trick me. So just remember what you did, man. You know, so anyway, we went on with that, man, and I'm not even going to sit up here and sugarcoat it with y'all. I was going to give him the business. I had sole purpose intentions on when I saw him again, I was going to fix him up real decent for what he did to me. You know, I took a couple of bumps and bruises, nothing major. They didn't break nothing. They ain't, you know, give me no permanent scars besides, you know, mental. You know, when you got that many people jumping on you, trying to do bodily harm to you, it always stays with you. So I had intentions on giving him that business, man. But I stayed in the hole enough time that he knew about me because I had already had prior serious incidents on this institution. So they had reason to believe that I was who I said I was and I was going to do what I said I was going to do. So being the coward that he was, he told the people that he feared for his life. And that's all they got to do is just to say that all the tough talk they talk, they say they fear for their life, then people keep you back there for as long as they want or till they transfer you or get you off the institution or make sure when you come out you're not in the vicinity of that person. 9 times out of 10 they're going to get rid of you. What they did with me, they ended up letting me out, but I was on the other side of the yard where I would never be in contact with him, and that didn't last long before I ended up on another institution. So I never got a chance to get around him again. So if you do hear this, you know I owe you one, boys. And I don't know which one of you it was, but I'll just be fair and give it to both of you if I ever see you, you know, because y'all did me dirty, man. You did me real dirty. But that's the prison twins, you know, on the administration side. But as far as on the convict side, I've known of many twins. I mean, of many of them, and they always seem to be named twin. They always seem to be named twin, no matter what their name was. They always seem to be named twin. this set of twins that I'm going to tell y'all about that is at the top of my list, which is the reason for me wanting to share this story with y'all. I'm gonna have to, like what they say, change the name to protect the innocent, because this is you will understand as this story unfolds. So I'm just gonna say these twins' name was Gary and Terry, because I grew up with some twins named Terry and Gary. So I'm gonna say this was Terry and Gary for video's sake. But I can remember early in my bit. I'm not even gonna really want to say the prison, because like I say, I don't know the dynamics to this or what the repercussions could be. But I would say, I'm just letting you know, I was early in my sentence, and I was around this twin, and his name was Gary. But you know, they called him Twin, but his name was Gary because he's supposed to have a twin. So he was a cool dude, a good dude. I didn't really know him well, but I socialized with him at least once a week for small periods of time, because I cut his hair. You know, I was the barber, so I cut his hair. He always wanted his hair cut in a particular way. Back then, you got to think this is back in the day when I went into prison. It was 1987. Yeah, 1987. I know. Yeah. So I used to cut his hair. He was wearing a box haircut, you know, like Kid and Play, but his wasn't as high, but that's how he wore his hair. That was his hairstyle. You know, he had a little like 5 o'clock shadow thing, and I used to edge it up for him and everything. But he was a cool dude, man. He didn't talk that much, but when I cut his hair, you know, when you got somebody in the barber chair, you always socialize with him a little bit. So I knew about him, knew where he was from. I knew he had a twin, you know, this, that, and the third. And I knew his celly. He was all right with his celly. I used to see him with his celly, but not that much. But I did used to see him with his celly. And I can remember, man, he always wanted his hair cut the exact same way. He was real particular about how he wanted it cut at all times. So I can remember going in the visiting room one day. My family came to see me. So I'm up in the visiting room and I'm sitting down, and my family get up to go get me something to eat and to drink. So at the time, you know, we can't go to the vending machines. It was only them that can go to the vending machines. We wasn't allowed to go to the vending machine or to have the money in our hand. Only they can do that. So I can remember turning around and looking at them going to the machine and watching and see what they get, you know, and that's just what you do in there. You watch, see what they get. It's like, it's fascinating to you. It's just automatic stuff to them, but this is stuff that we can't do no more. So you watching them, and plus your family is in this environment, so you keep your eye on them. So when they go, I can remember looking over there, and I see Gary, twin, at the machine, putting money in the machine. So I'm like, what in the world is he, you know, what is he doing? You know, and I'm tripping out because it's not so much of what he got on, because at this time in prison, when I first got it, you could wear your own clothes, man. You had dudes in prison had hard shoes and dress pants and button-down shirts. You can have your own clothes when I first went to prison. So I look over there and I see him at the machine. I'm like, man, he getting ready to get, you know, he getting ready to get a charge. He getting ready to get late. So I'm looking at him, and that took my attention away from my family. So I watch him as he get some chips, soda, whatever, and he come back, and I watch him walk. And as I watch him walk, he walk all the way to the front of the visiting room, and I'm watching him, and I lean over, and he goes and sit down, and then I see Gary sitting there. That's his twin. That's Terry. They look identical alike. His hair is actually cut just like I cut his hair. You could not tell these two dudes apart, man. They look so much alike. It was just crazy. So I'm like, God dang. I said, oh, so it all came to me now. This is why they call them twin. You know, because these are identical twins. I mean, their beard and everything, just like I cut his, was shaped the same. He had the same box haircut. the resemblance was uncanny. It was crazy. So when my people came back, I was telling them, it was like, I was like, man, I just seen this dude go to the machine, and I thought he was the dude that's in the block with me. That's his identical twin. What he had? I'm telling them, they look back there and see him. I'm like, don't they look just alike? They said, yeah, they look just alike, which was crazy to me. And so I remember when we got back in the pod and everything, I wanted to, ask him about it or say something to him about it, but I didn't, because like I said, we didn't really chop it up like that. But when I cut his hair the next time, I do remember asking him. I was like, man, that was your identical twin in that visiting room. Man, y'all dudes look just alike. He was like, yeah. So I was like, boo, over. So I said, cool, man. I said, he come see you a lot. He said, yeah, every now and then and everything. That's my dude, right? He said, my mom comes see me sometime too, but mostly my brother would come see me. Sometime my girl. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's what's up. So as time went on, and I stayed cutting his hair every week. And the longer I'm in the block, I start hearing little whispers and little, gossip, that Terry and Gary was actually trading places in the visiting room. Trading places in the visiting room. And I'm like, what in the world? This cannot possibly be true. It's no way. And then I said to myself, I know how to find out if it's a rumor or not. I know. I cut his hair. I cut his face. I said to myself I was going to do something distinctive to his hair, so if it happened, I would know. And that's what I did. That's what I did, y'all. I cut his hair the same way I usually cut it, but it was this one little spot in the back where I did, my little thing, put a little certain type of fade on this little spot where I can know, put just a slight tiny something so I could just remember just watching him, man. And because I was so super intrigued. Wouldn't you be intrigued? I was like super intrigued. So I'm watching him. And I started noticing things. When things is brought to your attention, you start noticing other things. So I started noticing little things. And then I basically was paying attention to that haircut. And I could remember that weekend came and he went over to the visiting room. And when he came back, man, I was like, I'm keep my eye on this cat now, and I watched him and I tried to walk past him and be slick and look, all of that. And I can remember seeing it. And I said, man, this ain't my work. This ain't my work. Wow, man, my mind was just like blown. I'm like, this is crazy. And then, I got a little cool with people who knew a little bit more and was saying a little bit more, but it was like a hush-hush thing. But it was like, yeah, man, they switch every now and then. When they go over there, he switch with them, man, and stay in here for a whole week. And then the next week come, they go back over there, they switch over. Only thing they had to do was just probably switch shirts somehow. And it was possible when I first came in, because you can get up and go to the restroom, or your visitor can get up and go to the restroom. This is how dudes was first. I'm going to do a visiting room video too, so y'all remind me out there, TBP. But your visitors could also get up and go to the restroom, and sometimes in some places, when I first got locked up for a minute, the same bathroom was in the visiting room. They eventually, in the newer prisons, they put the bathroom on the outside of the visiting room, where you have to go through another door to go to the bathroom. But most prisons, when I first came in, they had the bathroom inside the visiting room. So dudes would get up and act like they going to get some water or something. They had a water machine in there or something, and the bathroom was right, and they'll slide right on in the bathroom. And, with their girl, they do what they got to do and try to slide out and hope they don't get caught. Some officers, back when I first came, you can pay them and, get your 15 minutes. Yeah, crazy stories. So you could slide in there and switch a little something, come back out, and by them looking identical, if one leave, they're not gonna stop him. They got his ID up there. He matches the ID. He looks the same, the exact same. Man, it was crazy. I can remember even after I first heard it and had basically confirmed it in my mind. I could remember being in the visiting room one time when like a couple of my homeboys came to see me. It was like 6 of them, man. And they came to see me, and it was like the first, matter of fact, it was the first only time all of them came to see me like that. But they came to see me, and I can remember them being in there, man, and it was just so nostalgic, man, to be around these cats again, man. And when it was time to leave, it was wild because they all got up to leave. But like I say, I got on regular clothes like they got on regular. I looked just like them. And in my mind, I kept on saying I could just walk right out with them. I could walk right out with them, man. But, I know I would have had to have some ideas, something up there. But it's just your mind get to working, and you saying to yourself, well, one of them can stay back. I could grab his ID. I look a lot like him. I could grab his ID and just walk out, and then he can act like he coming out later, like, where's my ID? And all that's just crazy stuff that goes through your mind, man. When you up in that belly, boy, you trying to get up out there. It's just, I could just remember being overwhelmed with the idea that I could just possibly walk out of there. But it wasn't really realistic. But it felt good to just imagine being able to walk out there again, man. I had dreams about it and all types of fantasies in my head, but I could just remember, man, I just was so fascinated and obsessed with the twins now that I like looked at them every chance I get. I'm staring at them because I'm like, who is this? Is this Terry or is this Gary? You know what I'm saying? And I could see it from there. I started watching them. I could see it because when it was Terry in there, he stayed around the cell partner more often because the cell partner had to navigate his way through prison throughout the week. You supposed to be here. Maybe you had a class here, or this is who you usually talk to, or this guy right here name is Joe Blow. This dude name is such and such. This is Banky. This is the dude who cut your hair. He had to know all of these things because he's not in prison. He's not in prison. He's doing time for his brother. Man, this is like the greatest. Made you wish you had a twin. I know it made me wish I had a twin, but then it opens the question with my twin would have did it for me. You know, I got a brother. I ain't gonna say I love my brother. I think he loved me to death, but I don't know if he would have came up in here for me, man. I just don't know if he'd have did that. But a twin, man, I just thought that was just amazing, man. That's some stuff that they could make a movie about. But they was going on and on and on like that, man, far as I can remember. And I can remember that it came a time when they said that Terry came in for Gary, and Gary went out there and was having issues with his girl, and he did not come back the week in when he was supposed to come back. In fact, he stayed gone for like a month. And I can remember seeing, which I thought was Gary, which was Terry, on the phone every day, and you could read body language and how he's talking and barking and he's mad, and and all the time everybody's saying, yeah, dude, that's Terry, man. Gary's still out there. He ain't come back. He out there doing this, doing that, and left him in here. And it's just like crazy, man. It's crazy. But I know they talking on the phone. They can't be talking like that. So they probably using code, but they saying this, that, and the third. But it just was a wild situation. I can remember that. I can see it in my mind's eye. Me watching it unfold, because I'm watching it like a movie. And I'm watching it unfold, and I'm like, this is crazy. And then it sends you into thinking, like, why would he do that? He doing you a favor. Why are you crazy? Are you gonna stop this? You gonna make him don't? And that's exactly what's supposed to happen. When he did come back, I mean, they went in there, they switched out, and man, the next thing you know, man, Gary ain't getting no visit, man, for like months, man. He ain't get no visits for like months. When he did get a visit, it was his mother or it was his girl. But they said his brother won't coming back up there. He was mad. He carried him. I'm doing time for you, and this is what you do. I don't care what you got going on out here with your girl, whoever, man. You don't leave me up in here, man. Are you crazy? And I can understand that 100%, 100%. So it was crazy, man. But I just remember watching that unfold, and I remember running into, we eventually got separated, within a year or something, a year and a half. And I can remember running into him later, a couple of years later on another institution, man. And I was bold enough then, man, to just ask him straight up, man. I was like, yo, man, I seen him actually coming out of the visiting room. And I was like, yo, man, what's up? You remember me? I just cut your hair. He was like, yeah, boo, boo. He was like, man, what you doing? How you doing? I'm like, I'm all right, I'm good. So I was like, hey, yo, man, let me ask you something. You know what I want to ask you. Everybody probably asked, you know what I want to ask you. He was like, what? And he had that little smile, that little smirk. He was like, what? I said, man, was that Joan true about you and your brother, man? He's like, what? I said, come on, man, you know what I'm talking about. He was like, I don't know. That's just rumors, man. You know how people be spreading the rumors. And I look at him, I'm like, oh, yeah. I swear, it was a hell of a rumor. I can tell you that. It was a hell of a rumor. He started laughing, and we dapped it up, and he went on about his way. I ain't never run into him no more, man. But I just think that was just amazing, man. And for the brother to do that, man, I salute him, man. Anybody who would volunteer to come up in here, because I know people with the opposite. I know one dude, I might end up telling a story about him too. Little dude, good dude, one of the better dudes I met doing this bit, man, as far as like kindness in his character, man. He was a real humble dude, and he actually was doing time for his brother. His brother had caught a body, a murder, and his brother was younger than him, and they looked a lot alike. His brother was like 3 years younger than him. He didn't want his brother to mess his life up. He had been in trouble prior. He took that case for his brother, man, and he ended up getting a life sentence, and he ended up doing almost 30 years, man. And his brother did not keep it real with him while he was doing time for him. Crazy story. But so to have a brother to love you enough to do that for you, that's amazing, man. That's just an amazing situation. And I can just remember being around that, man. That was crazy. But like I said, it was many twins, man, that I ran into doing this bit. And that was just one. That was the one that stood out in my mind the most. In fact, then you got this other set of twins that I think has just an amazing story that I met too. Twin and twin. These dudes, salute to them, because hopefully both of them is out right now. I know one of them is. I don't know the whole dynamics. I talked to one since he been out. Haven't talked to him again. So I can't say for sure. Hopefully, prayerfully, both of them are still out. But it's Kelly and Kellum, man. My dudes, man. Kelly and Kellum. And I can remember meeting Kelly. Kelly slept right beside me, man. Time frame was Sussex 2. So we talking about early 2000s, between 2002 and 2005 maybe, up in there. Good dude, man. Real good dude, man. Me and him got along real well. Slept right beside me. Real cool cat. And I can remember, man, when I first met him, man, we just hit it off. He got a good personality, real cool dude. And we used to chop it up a little bit. We used to gamble back then. I was shooting dice, shaking them bones. So he used to shoot dice, and we used to gamble against each other, talk a little trash, whatnot, even get on the basketball court, talk trash on the basketball court. But it was always, in fun. We was always respectful. We was always cool. He was that type of dude. So I can remember, man, they called him twin, and I asked him, yeah, he said, yeah, I got a twin, da-da-da-da. So when people say that, most of the dudes in prison ain't twin, they got a twin, you say, okay, boom. I can remember being in the visiting room with him for the first time. And by now, they've changed the rules. Everybody say they changed the rules for Gary and Terry, where we could no longer wear our own everything over there. You had stuff that you could order, like certain jeans and certain type of shirts, and that was it. And that was the only thing you was allowed to wear over there. Eventually, they moved from that to you actually wearing a uniform over there. But that was the only thing that you could wear, and a certain type of shoes and boots. So they knew what to look for when people left up out of that visiting room. They had to have the same things on, and it made it, even more harder to maneuver the Gary and Terry maneuver. So they changed all of that, and they put them cameras in there. Remember what I told you about them cameras weren't in prison at first when I first came in there like that. But all of that changed the possibility of a Gary and Terry happening again. So I can remember being in there, and I looked over at the machine, and I saw Twin in street clothes going to the machine. And the first thing that popped up in my mind was, this fool trying to escape. I'm like, he trying to escape. I mean, it had not even dawned on me about no Twin. I'm just looking and I'm seeing him because I know him and I know what he looked like. Talk to him every day. I'm like, this fool got on real clothes, and he had the machine. I say, what in the heck? And sure enough, I watch him, and he goes right over to the seat, and I lean over, and he's going to Twin. This is his identical twin brother. He's on the street. That's Kellum, and this is Kelly. And I had never seen him before. And I'm talking about they so much of like in twins, it's just crazy. I'm talking about like, I don't know if y'all know them keloids, like you got keloids, some people got like keloids. It's like a cut that don't heal well, it swell up. They got keloids almost in the same place. This is how much they look alike. So it's just crazy. So it's mind-boggling when I see him. So I can remember after the visit, I'm hollering at him, and I said, man, boy, I saw your brother up there, man. I thought that was you. I was like, man, this fool, trying to escape. I said, man, I was scared for you, bro. He was like, nah, man, that's my brother, woo, woo, woo. So I'm like, man, y'all really look alike. He said, yeah, man, he be holding me down. That's my dude. That's my heart. So I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's good, And I remember, kind of like telling him that story about Terry and Gary. He was like, yeah, I wish, you know what I'm saying? Which is crazy because I can remember, man, just seeing him in there more and more often. And then I got moved, right? I got transferred a couple of years later. I leave him. By then, me and him, we super cool. We good friends and everything. I mean, this my guy. You know what I'm saying? I mess with him, man. He was I do because I can remember. Oh man, I gotta show y'all this too. Oh yeah. See that? See that Banky Pound? Oh, coming to you soon. Put this good old water up in here. Yeah, so we got super cool because I used to see him. He slept right beside me, and I used to go to the visiting room. I used to go to the visiting room with him all them times. So I met his mom, I met his wife, and another thing that struck me with him, he used to always be speaking sign language to his mother and with his wife. And I didn't understand, that, right? And then later on, he told me that his mom was hearing impaired as well as his wife. And I thought that was just amazing, man. He knew sign language he learned it growing up for his mother. And then he ended up meeting his future wife, who also was hearing impaired. So he already knew the language. I just thought that was amazing in itself. And that's how he used to talk to him and kick it with him and everything in the visiting room, which I just thought was incredible, And it just made me wonder, how do you talk to someone on the phone that's hearing impaired, And I can remember him trying to explain it to me, but I can't remember for sure. So I don't want to put that information out there and be incorrect. But I just remember them. I knew his wife, I knew his mother, and like I say, I knew his brother from that visiting room from coming to see him, which was super cool. And then when I left him, like I say, we left on good terms. We left as friends. I can remember it probably was maybe 4 or 5 years later. I can remember the new institution that I was on. I'm on Greensville, and I can remember walking out on the yard. And when I walked out on the yard, you always got your head on the swivel. I'm looking around, and I see Twin, and I'm like, oh, twin. So twin. So I started walking up, he turned around and everything. He started walking to me. I walk up to him. I'm like, what's up, my dude? And I dap him up and everything. He look at me and everything. I look at him. I'm like, what's up? He was like, man, what's up? What's up? I know you, right? I said, what? You know me. I said, it's Banky, man. He was like, oh, no, I'm Kellum. I'm like, what? He said, yeah, I'm Kellum, man. You remember I met you in the visit room. Twin's brother had actually got locked up too, and now I'm around Twin's brother, the other one. I'm like, man, you just can't make this up. Yeah, man, you can't make this up. It's just crazy. So now I'm running into Kellum, and I get to chop it up. I said, man, you look so much like your brother. He was like, yeah, man, I remember you though, man. Yeah, you talked to him a lot. I seen you. He said, man, yeah, I got caught up. They gave me, I think he had like 6 years. I ain't got number like 6 years, but like 6 years. That's how people talk in prison with that little bit of time. But 6 years is 6 years. So he was like, yeah. I'm like, man, where Kelly at? And he told me where he was and everything. I said, man, you think they gonna let y'all get together? He said, man, we trying to, but I don't know, right? No, that's crazy, man. To have an identical twin in prison with you. That's crazy. So now I'm around him. Me and his brother is super tight. So now me and him started to form our own relationship. Me and him get cool. We used to working out together and everything. He actually started getting bigger than Kelly. So you would be able to tell the difference between the body size because he worked out more than Kelly. Kelly ain't doing nothing. Kelly gonna gamble and talk trash and everything. But Kellum was working out and then putting a little, I said, man, you ain't gonna look like your brother no more, man. Y'all gonna look different. He was like, man, I gotta work out. I can't, I just can't sit still up in here. So I ended up, man, being around him for some years, man. A couple of years. We stayed on the same zone for a couple of years and we actually got real cool as well, So that's just crazy to me though, man. Just the dynamics of that situation. Like I met this dude on the streets in the visiting room, and now he's actually in here with me. And his brother is in here with me. But see, he caught a little bit of time. Kelly actually was doing like a lot of time. I don't want to say exactly because I can't be sure, but I knew he was doing a lot of time. And Kelly, Kellum, the one that I was around, the twin now, he ended up doing that little bit. I was around him for a couple of years. He got out. To the best of my knowledge, he had got out. And right before I made parole, I remember being on Nottoway maybe a year before I actually made parole. On Nottoway, they got what's it called? When you first come in, they got receiving on Nottoway too. They got receiving on Nottoway. So the receiving that they had was in one particular building. So I can remember being on population on Nottoway 1 year before I made parole, and somebody coming and telling me, because the dudes come through receiving, they may have been locked up before coming back, or they may know you, they coming off the street, they first getting locked up, they know you locked up, they know my name, somebody say, yo, Banky here, woo. Because I remember some homeboys and stuff that came through there that I had not seen since, I was on the street, young teenager years, and had got locked up for different situations and come through there and found out that I was there, said my name, everybody know me. So I had to go out on the yard. You have to go out on the yard, walk to the fence when the receiving is out because they can't mix with us, but they be out there on the rec yard. You have to walk over to the fence and try to talk to them, which also was a no-no. You wasn't supposed to do it. But at that time, so many officers knew me. Instead of running me away from the fence, they might let me talk. I might say, hey, look, this is my peoples, man. I know them, man. Just give me 5 minutes. They might say, all right, well, hurry up, man. But go ahead. You got to get away from the gate. 5 minutes, 5. So, you had a little time to chop it up with them and talk to them and whatnot. So, I remember running into a couple of people, man, that I knew from the street. And I remember running into people who knew me from the street or knew my family from the street, but I didn't actually know because I had been locked up, but over the years they had got cool with my brother or somebody in my family they knew and knew I was locked up. Then they was in a situation where they was locked up, so they came and hollered at me, you know. And when you in receiving, you can't have but certain amount of commissary, certain amount of things. You can't get a lot of stuff because you got to wait till you actually get in the system to order certain things like a TV, fan, radio. So they basically over there thugging it out. They ain't got nothing, you know. So what I would do if I knew the person or they got in contact with me, I would get them like a whole bag of food, you know, try to get them something. If I could buy a radio or something, get it to them, you know, things like that to try to help them because, you know, I knew the journey that they was getting ready to take, and I knew it wasn't gonna be pretty. So I would try to help them, you know. But I can remember being in there one day, and somebody came and said, "Hey man, dude over there looking for you, man. Said his name is Twin. He said come out trying to holler at him." So I said Twin, and like I told you, I've met a lot of twins. So I was like, Twin? He's like, yeah. So I was like, all right. So I remember going down there later on that day when the time that I knew they had wrecked, and I go out there, and there it is. That's Kellum. Kellum right there. And he comes walk up. I'm like, man, what's up, man? What you doing? He was like, man, I was out there, man, doing good and everything, man. I'm back on a violation. He said, man, I ain't got nothing but like 2 years, man. But I'm on a violation. They got me, man, you know. So that's all I got to do. I'm like, where your brother at? He was like, he's still up in the mountains and everything. I'm like, dang. I said, when did you get out here? Got out years ago, was out there, was doing well. Job, you know, got married, all of this stuff, you know, doing good. And got caught up on a violation. The violations will get you, man. You know, so, yeah, so we chopped it up and everything. He said, man, what you doing? I said, man, I'm trying to make parole right now. He said, you ain't been home? I said, nah, bro, I ain't been home this whole time I've been in here. You know, he was like, wow, man, they gotta let you go. I said, yeah, I'm hoping the same thing. So at the time I had already, like I say, been putting in my work, doing my programs or whatever. So I was telling him the things I was doing. I remember him giving me his sister number. He said, this is where I'm going when I get out, man. If you make parole or if you don't, man, you know, holler at me through my sister, whatever, man. And I'll shoot some letters, some kites, shoot some kites to Kelly too, man. Let him know you doing all right. I'm like, that's what's up. You need anything? Got him some food and some stuff over there. And I can remember that was the last time I saw him in the system. Nor had I seen Kelly anymore. Kelly was the original one that I knew. That was my man. So I didn't see him no more. I eventually ended up making parole. You know, when I made parole, and since I've been out here, I can remember someone telling me another mutual friend that we got that was actually Kelly's best friend, dude named Block. He had came home, and I was like, wow, Block home? He was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you know, Kelly home too. Kelly had this guy home. I'm like, what? So, you know, we made the contact. We talked, we called. I talked to him on the phone. It was good to see him. He told me Kelly was out. You know, it was just a beautiful thing, man, to see them brothers actually free. It's an amazing thing to be in prison and to see these dudes all the time. And I'm sure it is the same way with me. And to see them all the time, always in, you know, state blues or prison clothes, all the clothes that we can have, sweatsuits, it's just the same outfit, whether it's prison clothes or what we can buy, it's all the same. Just to see them like that and to see them out here in real society, in real life, dressing, you know, living life, enjoying their family, smiling. It's just a beautiful thing. So I can remember talking to him and seeing him, man, in our FaceTime, man, it just was amazing. We haven't been able to connect yet where I can actually see him in person, but I'm looking forward to it because, like I say, that was my dude. I really liked him. He was a cool dude, man. Always laughing and having fun, man, and would make you laugh. So, yeah. And I haven't been able to run into him, but those was some cool twins right there, man. And I actually was in Nottoway at the time. I was actually in the block with a twin. Called him, same thing as Twin. Funny dude, man. Super funny dude. Shout out to Twin, man. Twin on Nottoway. Shout out to Twin, man. Me and Twin used to go to war every day on the Scrabble board, man. If you could play Scrabble out there too, you probably don't want to see me because I'm nice, you know. But We used to go to war every day, man. We used to wake up, man. I didn't go to breakfast. I didn't go to chow hall at this time. I don't go to chow hall. So I used to wake up every morning, you know, get ready to cut hair. But before I cut hair, before I start, man, he might come out there. But we had started playing Scrabble. He'd come out there, fix him some coffee. I fix me a coffee. When they going to eat, we done set the Scrabble board up. We done started. And we playing for bragging rights. We ain't gambling or nothing. We playing for straight bragging rights. He want to beat me so he can run his mouth, and I want to do the same thing. So I just want to beat him. And I know it may sound sadistic and crazy, but I just want to beat him just to humiliate him, man. I just want to beat him just to humiliate him, just to tell people he can't beat me at Scrabble, he can't outthink me. I don't know who he think he is, little young fool. And this is what we did, you know, to pass time in prison and to be entertained. But man, you can't let them, you cannot let them cats win when you on that type of time. Because if you let them win, oh man, you gonna hear it all day. Oh man, him and his Sally Yada. I used to beat both of them. I used to play Yada in chess and used to play Twin in Scrabble. And man, I'm telling you, can't take no losses messing with them dudes, because you would never. And when I tell you never, I mean you never heard the end of it. So you gotta win, man. So that's what I did for entertainment, playing them dudes in, you know, Scrabble and chess. And Twin had a twin that was actually on the street that was his identical twin. And he used to talk to me, you know, wanted some type of advice because I'm older than him. Twin, I think, is in his 30s. And he used to say how, you know, he got the identical twin on the street, you know, and they look just alike, they identical. He said, man, but you know, he acting like a sucker, man. You know, me and him like this, we always been like this. But now he got this girl, his fiance and everything, and she's like telling him not to do this or not to do that, or he can't come up here during this weekend because they supposed to, and he letting the girl come between us, man. I don't like that, man. That's crazy, man. How you gonna let a girl come between you and your brother? Not just your brother, your twin brother. And he used to just be, you know, dudes like to vent in there a lot, trust me. So sometimes you got to be the ear to listen to them, try to give them good advice or whatever. And I remember that, man. That just hurt Twin so much. And he used to just talk about it all the time. This dude, man, I can't believe this. This is my brother, man. He said, man, we done shared women on the street. We done did this, that, and he gonna let this woman come between us, man. He said, I just don't get it, man. He said, man, I almost want to call him and cuss him out. I'm like, man, don't do that, dog. Don't do that. Because you're gonna regret it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna regret it later on, because just like you said, at the end of the day, that's your brother, that's your twin. He gonna come around, he just going through some things. He probably love the woman, you know. But he like, he love her more than me? I'm his brother. I'm like, man, I ain't gonna say he love her more than you. He just out there with her. So you know the old saying, out of sight, out of mind. Not literally, but just for a moment. It's just momentary. So I used to just try to tell him that, man. But I can remember that don't bothered him a whole lot, man. And I can understand it to a certain point, because like I say, that's a bond that can't be broken and shouldn't be broken. But yeah, man, shout out to Twin, man. He was a good dude. He was a funny dude. And you still can't beat me in Scrabble. And I see you when you get out here. Get the same thing, you know, straight up. But yeah, we used to go to war with that Scrabble board every single day. That was our recreation, man. But like I said, I've known a lot of twins over the years, man. But the one that I told you at first, man, that Gary and Terry, that just blew my mind. Is something that probably never be done again. I think it was ingenious. I think it was the epitome of brotherly love. I just think it was just amazing that, you know, a brother would sacrifice like that for you. You know, that he would sacrifice his own freedom, his own, because like I say, everybody that I know that's locked up by force, not by choice. They locked up by force. So to choose to be locked up just for the love of your brother, I think that's admirable, man. That's just amazing. Especially now in 2021, when you look at the way people act and you look at the selfishness of people, that everybody's consumed with their self. For someone to do that and to sacrifice, just so their brother can have some type of life, some type of excitement, some type of enjoyment out of his life because of his situation. To do that, man, and to put yourself in the belly of the beast, man, that was amazing. Now, what Gary did by letting him sit in there that time, I don't know if they ever resumed normal operation or what, but that was crazy. I would have never did that because I would have enjoyed and appreciated the gesture so much that I would make sure that I didn't jeopardize it not, continuing to happen, because I'm quite sure every man in prison would like to get out every other weekend or something and just go have a week out. And even if he had to come back, that would be just a amazing experience. So yeah. But I just wanted to bring y'all this. I wanted y'all to get this story, man, because I had it on cap. I had it in my brain because I recently talked about it. That's how I usually come up with these stories. Someone says something that triggers my mind. When it triggers my mind, I remember these things and remember these situations. So when somebody was talking about twins, this is what came up in my mind. And I was like, man, I got a story about some twins you wouldn't believe. It was just amazing. And I wanted y'all to hear this story. I wanted to share with y'all. I don't know or haven't even heard anybody else with that type of story about any twins in prison, but this is an actual and factual story, man. I remember this situation when it happened, and if they did get away with it, which, only they know, salute to them. If they ever see this, salute to you. If you see me, you'll know who I am, and you'll know, I didn't say y'all names, but y'all would know me. But that was amazing time in my bit, man. It was something that I seen that just amazed me. I never forgot it. I always felt, like it was something that I would never see again, which I didn't. And it'll stay with me forever, man. And like I said, what they did, if they did it, was just a true testament of brotherhood and love. It's something that we should all have. But anyway, I'm glad I could get that out to y'all. I hope it came across the way I felt it. I hope y'all understand it. I hope it was a enjoyable video for y'all. Hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about all the twins that I talked about. And onward and upward. Banky Pound, Team Banky Pound, stand up. We moving. 50K is the next stop, then 100, and then 1,000,000. So we just going to keep pushing forward. We're going to keep on passing out this positive message and image. Shout out to ECSU for giving me the opportunity to come speak this month. I'm going to try to show up and show out. Hopefully y'all will get that. I'm going to get it to y'all. If you can't physically be there, I'm going to try to have it recorded, and I'm going to give it to y'all as well. It's an amazing honor. It's something that I appreciate, and I'm humbled by, and hopefully there's more of it to come. But wherever I go, Team Banky Pound go, I represent y'all. Y'all represent me. I appreciate you. I love you. Be smart, be safe, make good decisions. Salute. See you next time.
The banking special.
Yeah.
Pure delicious.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.